Good evening, folks. It's me again, Tim Spence, also known as Trusted Troublemaker, your host this evening. And as advertised, we will be talking about sleep problems. Now, I can say for myself, I've dealt with sleep problems probably most of my life. The tossing and the turning and the turning and the tossing, and it's just, it's always been a bit much. I can attribute it to, I guess, what the kids call now FOMO. Like, I would just lie there in bed and I'd be like, oh, what is going on? I need to know. Probably nothing. I don't really know what exactly it was I was looking for at the age of 5. But it's always been a plague of mine, this sleep situation. I once sleepwalked off of a bunk bed. I literally climbed down and did some stuff that you're not supposed to be capable of doing while you're asleep. Nothing crazy, just it's rather embarrassing, and I'd rather share more of that in person, but nonetheless. And as I got older, it just kind of got a lot worse. I mean, I in high school, I just lie there and I just wonder, like, why is it I'm closing my eyes but I'm not drifting away? Maybe I was dreading the morning, knowing I had to go to school the next day, and I'm just like, oh God, anything but that. And I tried different things. I slept with a nightlight. When I was very little, I was afraid of the dark, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Now, it's crazy, because as an adult, I need it pitch black. I need the darkness in my room. I need it because it's like an ounce of light, my whole sleep pattern thrown off, and I'm just like, make it stop. And as I got older, I think what really did it, I started working overnight, and that just throws your sleep pattern all types of out of whack. You're tired during the day, you're wide awake at night, and you're just all over the place. And one thing that's been a constant that's been able to help me is, I guess, music. Listening to music has really been a godsend in the sense that it kind of just eases my mind. It's kind of like when you're sitting in silence, for some people, it's just your mind is allowed to just wander in all types of directions. And due to certain mistakes I made throughout my life, now if I tried to sit in the dark and just drift naturally into a sleep, I would begin to see some strange stuff. One such thing would be myself in a clown outfit at the edge of my bed saying, hey, it's time to play. And I'm like, no, we have to get up in a few hours. It's not playtime. And it's like, yeah, I'm spinning a kazoo. And it's like, no, I want to play now. And so I got to play with the clown. And so what I do, I recently bought, before I moved out here, I recently bought a headband that actually covers my eyes and plays music at the same time. So it's like I'm completely blind to the outside world as I try to sleep. And it's such a process. And I know for some people, it's like the moment their head hits the pillow, they're out. And some people say, well, Tim, why don't you, have a little libation before you go to sleep? And I'm like, well, there are consequences to that too. Um, I associate like having a few drinks before bed. I mean, if that's your cup of tea, I'm not going to judge. But like for me, I don't think being unconscious and going to sleep are not necessarily the same thing. It's like if I'm going to pass out and then wake up, hopefully the next day, I'm better off pouring all the liquor out of the bottle and smacking myself across the head with it, and then waking up in the middle of my floor in a pile of shattered glass, wondering, wow, that must have been a bad idea. But yeah, it's just, it varies for some people. I think now getting a better control of it, just having a routine, doing things to try and preoccupy your mind. I read a lot of studies that say, instead of trying to force yourself to go to sleep, get up, walk around, move around, do a little diddly down. I'm not saying spend the whole night on your phone playing, homescapes like I do sometimes, trying to I gotta get these bubbles, man. I gotta that, and because next thing you know, you've beaten 5 levels, and your alarm goes off, and I'm like, no, I'm going to be terrible at work today, and that's not what you want. It's getting better. It's definitely getting better. It's not. It's more so getting to the point that like, by the time I'm actually in bed, I can feel myself getting tired. Like I can naturally feel like, oh, I think it might be time to shut these eyes and, and it's going right now. Like I can start to feel like that. Especially when I listen to, I hate to say it, I listen to the ASMR stuff. Like I listen to it, it's something soothing about having someone talk to you. Like if I could pay somebody that just had a really nice voice, it's like, oh yeah, Mr. Spence. Like he could say nonsense and it would just drift me off to sleep. Yeah, so one time I got in a fight with an octopus and he really beat me down, man. He really put those tentacles to my backside, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds really nice, and I think I might doze off in a few seconds. Like it's a process, and it's something you got to work at because sleep is very important to the human body, especially if you find yourself trying to be some type of health nut and trying to live a healthy, long lifestyle and stuff like that. And it's crazy. They say the average amount of time a human adult should be sleeping is a minimum of 7 hours, preferably 9 hours. Where you find that time in the day, please help me find it because I have no clue. But I find that, especially when I have to do something the next day, I find when I sleep for a full 7 hours, I'm actually more tired than I would be if I got, let's say, 5 to 6 hours of sleep. And that might be because of a lack of sleep, because your body's trying to catch up for all the sleep that you lost. And another thing, folks, caffeine. Let's be honest with that. Those of you who are living off of caffeine and trying to like keep going, I gotta keep going, I can't stop, man, you're just borrowing energy. I mean, do you think anything that makes you feel like you're here and then you're like, whoa, wait a minute, something's happening? Like, like you think that's something normally? Like, no, I'll tell you, you really want to try something out. Try some liquid vitamin B12. That stuff will wake the dead. believe me, like that'll be like, ha ha, here we go. Like, you hit the Mario one time and you just like, wow, like, whoa, that's some funky stuff right there. But I'm just saying, folks, sleep is important. Especially, and I think one thing that kind of deters me from sleep is like dreams. It's a big part of sleeping, is dreaming. And I've gotten into this whole like dream interpretation. And if you ever want to know what your dreams mean, hit me up and I'll look into it for you. I'll break it down. If you had a dream about a hippo in a tutu moonwalking on banana peels, like, I'll find out what it means. I will. You might not like the meaning of it, but I'll help you out. But for me, like, I don't often have good dreams. Like, my dreams are like Picasso paintings. Like, they're all over the place, or it's just like some wild madness going on. And it's like, do I really want to go through 4 hours of that? I don't know. I don't. But I mean, you need to. It's like you need to tap into that part of yourself that you don't get to tap into at any other part of the day. There's no other moment in time where you can reach REM. It's not going to happen. I mean, unless you learn how to sleep with your eyes open, which that would be awesome. I couldn't get past the snoring thing. That would kind of get me away. Even if I had like shades on and stuff like that, it'd be like, it's either he's breathing really heavy or he's turning into a grizzly bear. I can't tell. But yeah, it's so interesting to me, and it's something I'd like to open the discussion for. If anybody ever would like to talk about it. I know this video in particular is going to be a little different from some of the stuff I do. I know I'm usually a little wacky, but I thought that this was a very important subject to touch on because I think now that more than ever with so much stuff going on, I think, people are under a lot of stress. People have a lot in their minds. People have a lot like going on, and they're just trying to figure out like, what am I going to do tomorrow? How am I going to make all this work? And that can really throw your sleep off. I'll tell you the one thing for me, my tried and true is like, I try not to eat 2 hours before I go to bed. Try to definitely stay hydrated. Try to get some type of physical activity in because that'll help a lot. And I'm a big fan of tea. I'm a hot tea drinker. And chamomile is usually my go-to, or any type of herbal tea that kind of just mellows you out. Seeing that ZzzQuil stuff, I don't know about that. It's one thing. NyQuil is like, sugary vodka, like purple vodka pretty much, with like, a headbutt to your liver. So ZzzQuil, I can only imagine, is like a mild form of morphine, perhaps. I don't know. I don't dare to try the stuff. I'd like to be able to sleep and wake up the next day. That would be a little bit more ideal for me. But I've heard so many strategies. I've heard so many steps on how to do it. One thing I envy is people who can sleep all day. Like, I wish I could sleep all day sober. Like, that'd be awesome. Like, you wake up, you walk around for a few minutes, you go back to sleep. I mean, because the moment I'm up, I'm like, well, I guess I got to solve the world's problems now, because I'm definitely not closing my eyes again. I don't know what my body thought this was, but it ain't going down like that. And I don't know. I mean, I hope that everybody finds a strategy that works for them. Some people have a hard time sleeping alone at night. And I get that. It's nice to have someone to cuddle with. I know for me, I could probably go to sleep like that, but if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm gonna be like, get off me. Ew. This, like, just a telltale sign of how I sleep, if that was going to be the case. I have teddy bears, right? I admit, you've all met my fluffy friends. Sometimes I'll try not to neglect them and we'll all just sleep together as one big happy family. And when I wake up the next day, they're literally everywhere. It's like in the middle of the night, I was like, Mr. Coffee died. Like, Captain Orange over there. Like, Mustachio. Like, I just went full Street Fighter on all my teddy bears, man. Like, I don't need it. There's love somewhere in this, in whatever this is. There's love somewhere amongst it. Just not while I'm sleeping, apparently. It's just not, doesn't resonate in that arena. But I try. I even do like the whole pillow under me and between my legs, all that type of stuff. So, like I said, whatever strategy works for you, whatever, and hopefully by watching this, maybe I've offered some type of something you can take out of it. Another thing I also do is I listen to scary stories. One, because I do hallucinate from time to time, and I may need to look into that eventually, but it helps keep my mind focused on something. And it's like, I think if you try so hard to pay attention to something, you can often drift off. It's like tunnel vision almost. You're looking straight ahead and you don't see anything around you. So it's like I'm closing my eyes and I'm trying to visualize these stories. Like I often listen to Mr. Creepypasta, Creepy McPasta, Mother Macabre, and all that stuff, and it's like I'm listening to it, and it's like I'm trying to see these images. I'm trying to see the words that they're saying. I'm trying to become the story. And sometimes, before I know it, I'm in dreamland with all the sheep. And we're just floating along, and we're just having a good time. And it's like, oh, isn't this wonderful? You finally got to go to sleep. No more tossing and turning. No bloodshot eyes if you've been on a bender for a whole week. No, none of that. Just warm, peaceful, tranquil sleep where you'll wake up tomorrow and you'll feel rested and relaxed, refreshed, invigorated, only for none of that to happen the next night. But hey, tonight is what counts. And the only consequence to listening to horror-based stories while sleeping is that sometimes my mind gets a little too into it. And I'm one of those people, you can say something to the wildest of things, and as you're saying it, I'm literally visualizing it as the words are coming out of your mouth. If you're talking about dicing cucumbers and deep frying them in peanut oil, then slathering them with jelly, putting them in between two cantaloupes, smashing it all together, and then throwing it away because that's disgusting, I'm going to see all of that. I'm going to see every bit of that. So when I hear the words, it's right behind you, or it's right next to you, my mind is telling me whatever it is, it's right next to me. And if I look in my mind, I will see it and I will jump out of my skin. The other night, I was listening to a story that was so scary, and it was talking about someone creeping up behind somebody's back. I literally felt a finger poke me in the back, and I was in like a sleep paralysis. I was like, I gotta look, I gotta see what it is before I die. And I threw my corpse over, and I looked, and nothing was there. Nothing at all. So, with that said, scary stories might not be for everybody, but they sometimes work for me. If you guys got that out of what I just said. But some people, they might not get any of that. They say, I'm not scared of anything, man. They might not be scared of boogeyman and, monsters jumping out of your closet, but let a cockroach roll by. They're like, ah! I was like, man, is this a roach? You ain't never seen a bug before, man? Like, come on, relax. But, yes, sleep, folks. Sleep is very important. Something that we all need. It's not something that you should fight. And I think when you have the time, we should all just dedicate a day to just relax. Find a nice movie. I find the best when you're putting on like a show, you're not too into it, but you'll watch it, like putting something like that on. You need to just lay back, you need to just drift off for a few hours. Come back, drift off for a few hours, come back. And just do that for a whole day. Just relax. Just take a load off. Because you know what? You deserve it. You're going through all this madness. You're going through this, that, or the other thing right now. Just take a load off. Take it easy on yourself. Don't make sleep a problem. You got enough problems as it is. It's something we all need. It's something we can't fight because, like it or not, folks, you go without sleep if you want to. Your body will tell you, if you don't get down, I'm going to put you down. And I don't think you want to pass out in the middle of your kid's birthday party. That wouldn't be a good look. As you fall, like you're walking, oh, happy birthday, Jimmy, and then you just fall, you dump your face in the cake. All the kids are like, ah! Like, it's just not a good look. Just make sure you get your rest, folks. I'm going to try and turn it in myself in a little bit. I would like you to all wish me luck in my endeavors. I wish you all luck in your sleep adventure. And I'm looking so forward to seeing you all soon. And hopefully soon will be sooner than later. Yeah. And I hope you all take care of yourselves. I hope you all are being productive and spending your time with loved ones and the people you care about and the people you cherish the most. And remember that if you feel like nobody cares, I always do. Because I don't know how not to. So that's all for me, for you, folks. It's always a pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you all soon, once again. I'm going to bid you all adieu. Might do a tasting video tomorrow night, might not, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's Friday. If not, I'm going to post a bunch of videos of my party for one, and everybody's going to have a good time, and we're just going to, woo! That's what we're going to do. We're going to woo. Yep. And as usual, follow me at Trusted Troublemaker on Instagram. Subscribe If you like this video, there's always going to be more to come. And check out my other videos. This is Tim Spence, Trust a Troublemaker. Also my Snapchat, Trust for Trouble, where I do all types of wacky stuff. And I hope you all have a good night. See you tomorrow. And as always, trust me to trouble you.